Enterprise AI succeeds when it connects cleanly to the systems people already use. In this section, we'll look at how Regrello AI integrates through APIs, webhooks, files, triggers, and synchronization, while staying scalable, reliable, governed, and supportable. So far, you've moved from Regrello AI basics into workflow design, process intelligence, and governance. That progression matters because enterprise integration is where those ideas connect to the systems, data, and controls that run the business. Next, we'll look at the architecture choices that make AI-enabled workflows scalable and supportable. AI workflow automation is only as useful as the environment it can reach. When Regrello AI connects to systems of record, identity platforms, documents, messaging, ERP, CRM, and procurement tools, it can coordinate work using trusted data instead of asking people to re-enter information. That reduces manual handoffs, status chasing, and duplicated effort. It also gives the AI the context it needs to recommend next actions, surface risks, and support reporting. Integration is not just technical plumbing. It directly affects adoption, compliance, resilience, and the quality of automated decisions. In a real enterprise, workflow data rarely lives in one place. Finance and operational details may come from ERP systems like SAP. Customer context may come from CRM tools like Salesforce. Supplier activity may sit in procurement platforms such as Coupa. Approvals, files, messages, and access controls may live in SharePoint, Okta, Teams, or Slack. The goal is not to replace these systems. It is to coordinate work across them, so Regrello AI can trigger actions, retrieve context, route approvals, and keep processes moving with fewer manual handoffs. Each system in the enterprise architecture should have a clear job. Systems of record hold trusted business data, such as customer, supplier, employee, or transaction records. Systems of engagement are where people communicate and make decisions, such as chat, email, and portals. Regrello AI fits as a workflow coordination layer between them. It does not replace the source of truth or the collaboration tools. Instead, it orchestrates tasks, approvals, escalations, and visibility across both. This separation reduces duplicate data, prevents conflicting updates, and makes ownership clear as work moves across teams. Integration patterns are like different conversation styles between systems. APIs are direct. One system asks for something, and another responds. Webhooks and events are more reactive. When a workflow changes, the right system is notified automatically. File exchange is useful when systems are older, batch-based, or expect CSV and XML handoffs. Data synchronization keeps selected records aligned over time, so teams are not working from competing versions. The right choice depends on speed, complexity, data sensitivity, system capabilities, and the needs of the business process. APIs act like structured agreements between applications. One system sends a request, such as get workflow status, with identifiers like workflow ADA. The receiving system checks who is asking, confirms permission, processes the request, and returns a predictable response, such as status, approver, due date, or an error message. That structure is what makes automation reliable. APIs can create records, read details, update values, or retrieve current workflow data in near real time. Good API design also defines rate limits, payload formats, and error handling, so integrations behave consistently under normal and unexpected conditions. Event-based integration shifts the pattern from keep checking to tell me when it happens. When a purchase order is approved, a supplier document is uploaded, or a task becomes overdue, the source system sends a webhook notification. The receiving system reads that event, applies its rules, and takes the next action. It might create a task, update a status, send an alert, or start another workflow. This makes integrations more responsive and efficient, because systems react to meaningful business moments instead of constantly polling for changes. File-based integration is still practical when systems are older, updates are scheduled, or data moves in large volumes. A source system exports a structured file, such as CSV, XML, Excel, or JSON. That file is transferred securely, then checked for naming, format, completeness, version, and business rules. Once validated, the target system imports the data and produces confirmations, reports, or reconciliation results. The trade-off is simple. This pattern is often reliable and straightforward, but it is not real-time. That makes error handling and timing discipline especially important. Strong integrations start with shared ownership of data. First, define the master domains: suppliers, customers, products, users, locations, and transaction records. Then decide which platform is the system of record for each one. A CRM may own customer profiles, while an ERP may own suppliers or purchase orders. Once ownership is clear, choose the right synchronization pattern: real time for critical updates, scheduled batches for stable data, or manual sync for exceptions. Finally, use mapping, validation, and reconciliation to catch duplicates, mismatches, and failed updates before they create downstream errors. Trust has to be designed into enterprise integration from the start. Begin with identity. Users should sign in through governed platforms, be provisioned consistently, and inherit access through roles rather than one-off permissions. Apply the same discipline to systems and automation. Service accounts need clear ownership, limited privileges, and regular review. Around that foundation, enforce authentication, authorization, encryption, audit logging, and monitoring. Most importantly, treat access as a lifecycle, not a one-time setup. When people change roles or leave, permissions must change or disappear just as reliably. Scalability is not just about handling more traffic. It is about protecting reliability as workflows become more important to the business. Estimate the number of users, tasks, integration calls, and payload sizes you expect over time. Then design for busy moments, such as month-end, supplier deadlines, or compliance cycles. A strong architecture also avoids tight coupling. If one enterprise system slows down, it should not bring every workflow with it. Finally, leave room to extend. New regions, systems, and process variations should be able to plug in without requiring a rebuild each time. Reliable integrations assume that something will eventually go wrong. A system may be unavailable, data may be invalid, a request may time out, or the same event may arrive twice. The goal is not to prevent every possible failure. It is to respond predictably. Good error handling validates inputs, retries safe operations, captures failed messages in a dead letter queue, and records enough detail for diagnosis. When issues affect the business, alerts must reach the right owners quickly. This turns failures into managed exceptions, reduces firefighting, and keeps automated operations trustworthy. Going live is not the finish line. It is the point where integrations become operational products. Teams need shared visibility into health signals, like success rate, latency, failed events, retry counts, and backlog growth. They also need clear ownership, so everyone knows who investigates, who fixes, who approves business decisions, and who communicates status. Runbooks make common incidents repeatable, with priorities, escalation paths, and recovery steps already defined. Over time, performance should be reviewed and tuned. As workflows, volumes, and enterprise expectations change, monitoring helps you address small issues before they become business disruptions. Enterprise integration is what turns Regrello AI from a helpful capability into a trusted operating layer. The key is choosing the right connection patterns, assigning data ownership, and planning for security, reliability, monitoring, and support. Strong architecture reduces manual work and builds confidence. Next, we shift from technical readiness to adoption, helping teams understand, trust, and use AI-enabled workflows effectively.